Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So, guys, it's finally back. I know I haven't posted in like 2 weeks or something, maybe a little more than 2 weeks. But like I told you guys, I haven't been off in the weekends the last couple weeks, so I'm not saying it's impossible. I could do a video, but whenever it's not the weekends, I mean, I can't really go to locals as often, or hang out with my friends that play Yu-Gi-Oh that much. So it just kind of demotivates me a little bit to make videos. But this past weekend I was off Friday, Saturday. Today's Monday. I worked yesterday night. I started nights yesterday. But these next 2 weekends or 3 weekends, I'm gonna be off all weekend. So that's really nice. And yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to just bring you guys a new deck profile. I recently just finished building this deck, and it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's like I'll probably say it's like a tier two, maybe like a very high rogue deck, like a low tier two or high rogue. But it's a very fun deck, and y'all can see by the title, it's gonna be Adamancipator Prank Kids. I like I said, I just finished building it this past weekend. I've been trying to build it for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. I started picking up the cards, and yeah, I thought I'd give you guys my take on it. And like I said, if you wanna, it's a relatively for a relatively competitive deck. 'Cause it's not like top tier, but I wouldn't say it's a bad deck either. For a semi-competitive deck, I think in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh standards, it's a relatively cheap deck. The only card that's kind of expensive is Researcher, but with even if you don't want to get the deck right now, it's definitely a deck that, or it's definitely if you don't want to pick up the card right now, the card's been out for about a year now, so it's definitely like due for a reprint. So you could just wait for that, and then Researcher will drop in price even more, and the deck will be even cheaper. But I believe I built the deck for like $160-ish or so. No, it's probably worth more. It's just I already had a few of the cards in the extra deck, but it's still a little expensive. I know, like I guess budget would probably be like $100 for Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's still a little expensive, but compared to some of the other decks like Dinos or Dragon Link, I mean Dragon Link doesn't have to be too expensive because some of the cards are lower rarity, but still, like I know my Dragon Link deck, it's definitely with the higher rarity stuff, it's worth a good amount of money. So yeah, this is definitely. I mean, it's like a semi budget, not that budget, but it's not very expensive in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh standards. But yeah, guys, sorry for that ramble a little bit. But let's get started with the deck profile. Let's hop right in. Oh, yeah, guys, so let's get started with the deck profile. So we got, well, for the Adamancipator Prankers, as the Crush cards would say. I thought that was a funny name when they first made the deck profile a few months ago. But yeah, guys, this is the deck so far. So we got you need basically three of all the Researchers. We got Adamancipators. 3 Researcher, of course, very good card in the deck. And we got 3 Analyzer and 3 Seeker. I mean, these are the cards that basically dig through your deck to search your other non-tuner rock monsters. So you really want to play 3 of each, just because you want to have, you really want to try to open at least one of these in your opening hand, just to actually get your plays going. So yeah, pretty standard, honestly. Most people play 3 of each one. Then for your actual rock extenders that you basically summon off your Adamancipators, we got 3 Quakimeru Supplier and 3 Quakimeru Guardian. So Supplier basically is not only does it serve as an extender off the Adamancipators, well, it's an extender itself too, because when it's special summon, you can add another Quakimeru card to your hand, which would normally add you Guardian. Just helps you keep hand advantage, or if you have it normal, then you can grab the Guardian and then normal summon it to protect you from interruption, because Guardian will protect you from like Nibiru, from Ash, and all that stuff. So I feel like playing 3 of each is really good, just because you really want to try and maximize. You want to have a good amount of these non-tuner rock monsters so you can actually hit stuff off the Adamancipators. So 3 and 3. Then we got 2 Doki Doki. This card, I mean, it's a really good card, but the only reason I play 2 instead of 3 is because it's a card that's quite punishable, since the effect, not only especially with the monster from the deck, which is nice, but you have to discard a card, so you lose hand advantage, And if it gets negated, like with Ash Blossom, it's a very good target for hand traps. Then you basically just neg two because your monsters. Well, okay, with something like Gamma, you neg two, but with like Ash Blossom, you neg one because you discarded. So yeah, I think it's definitely good to have, but I don't think you need three of it. It's just because it's not one of the cards you really want to base your plays off of, unless like you have no option, right? Then going into the prank kids, we got three Roxys and one Dropsies. So the Roxys is of course your rock target. It's another card you can summon off your Adamancipators. And these cards are basically just used to get more bodies on board the Link Climb with the Prank Kid Link monsters. So yeah, so basically the rocks can be special summoned off the Adamancipators, and then you can link off into your like Meow Meow or Doodle Bob along with the Dropsies and all that stuff. And this having a little bit of drop power is really nice too. Um, and yeah, it's just a really good amount of it. Like it's just really good extension and link climbing. So I just played those four because I mean you don't want to invest too much with the Adamancipator. Or sorry, with the prank kits because I feel like the decks. I mean, they synergize really well with these kind of ratios. But if you add more prank kit stuff, I feel like you might clog up a little bit on the prank kits themselves. So yeah, then we got one of the best extenders in the deck as well. 3 Parallel Exceed. I feel like this card is very necessary in the deck now. Now that Block Dragon's no longer in the game, so Parallel Exceed just helps you extend your plays more. When it helps, it's basically a free rank 4. So yeah, you could either use it as a rank 4 or for link climbing. So really good stuff, honestly. And chain blocking as well. You can chain block effects like Hockey Fiber X and all that. Now going into the hand traps that I play, we got the Gamma package. So just a really good going second card. It's a high impact hand trap, and yeah, it's probably one of the best hand traps right now, just because not only does it negate, but it gets rid of the monster. So and then we got 3 Ash Blossom, just the most generic hand trap in the game right now. So it just hits the most amount of decks, to be honest. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. And last but not least, I mean, this is not a hand trap, but it's my a going second card. We got Dark Ruler. I just feel like, I mean, this deck, I feel like in order to compete with the higher meta decks like Dragon Link, and maybe like Shaddoll and stuff like that, you need Dark Ruler just because certain like Dragon Link just has too many interruptions. They have like Seal, they have Savage, they have Appaloosa or something, or they have Hot Red. It's just a lot of interruption, and this card really helps you go second. I just feel like this card's really good right now just because Dragon Link is so good. So it just turns off the Dragon Link board. I mean, yeah, going first, it kind of sucks a little bit, but as long as you have like a good amount of extenders and all that, you'll be fine. Then we got 2 Adamancipator Signs along with 1 Reborn. I didn't opt to play 3 Signs just because it's once per turn. I guess it's kind of similar to World Legacy Guard Dragon, which I mean, in theory, I mean, in the Dragon Link deck, most people play 3 World Legacy, even though it's once per turn. But in that deck, it's just that it's so much advantage with World Legacy Guard Dragon. It's like a double or sometimes even triple extender. So, but with this deck, I mean, this is a good card. The Signs is a good card, but I just feel like it doesn't have as crazy as an impact as World Legacy Guard Dragon. So you really don't want to draw like 2 of these when you could have other cards that you can actually use. So yeah, I think this is actually a good ratio. Like 2 Signs, 1 Reborn. It's still basically 3 extenders. So yeah. And then we got Monster Reborn started the 1-ofs, so then we got 1 Emergency Teleport. Another extender can be used with Gamma. I just think it's really nice, even if you're going like, I mean, either if you're going first or second, because like I said, it's just another free body on board, and Gamma's a level 2, and this deck is really good with like summoning level 4, level 6, and level 8 synchros. So yeah, really cool stuff to have. The 1 Called By, I mean, it's a good card, of course, going first to play around hand traps, and then it's even a decent card going second. Like this could be used like against Seal or something, if they try to chain it and then the graveyard effect to special summon, you can just use called by, which is really good. And you can just set it on when you're going first. If you don't use it going first, you can just set it and it's still live on your opponent's turn. So, really good. And last but not least, the one Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine. This is the only trap, of course, so this card will always be live. And it just helps you go with your rank 4 plays. So, and even some, certain cards can this can be used to summon certain link monsters as well. So, yeah, I just think it's a good extender. And like I said, it's always live because this is the only trap you run. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a good extender in there in the deck. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been able to test the deck so much because I just finished building it this past weekend, and yeah, so I haven't been able to really test it much. But this is the build that I wanted to go with, and I will be testing it the next couple of weekends and see how it does. And like from the test hunts I've done, like the plays I've been able to do, it's very consistent. And it puts up some good boards. Like the only issue I guess is how well the deck can play through interruption, which I'll have to find out. But yeah, so far the deck I think looks pretty good. I'm not sure if I should, I know Nibiru is a rock monster, so I'm not sure if I should actually run Nibiru in the deck or not. Like maybe 2 Nibiru instead of, if I took out, I'm not sure what I would take out. I guess the only thing, maybe the Dark Ruler, I could put in Nibiru. I probably wouldn't run 3, but 2 Nibiru could be pretty good. Now going into the extra deck, we got 1 Salaman Great Almirage. Actually, let me move this. This card is basically just here in case you have a awkward or bricky hand. Maybe you don't have a good starter, or a perfect example of this that this card is very good with. If you have Doki Doki and Parallel Exceed, let's say you normal summon Doki Doki because you have no choice, and you use the effect, the Ash Blossom. Okay, that really sucks. But now you can summon into Almirage, and then now you have a Link monster, and then you can just go with Parallel Exceed, and you can continue your plays off from there. So it's not bad. But yeah, in theory it sounds good. I'll have to see how often it comes up. I think I've done I've done definitely more than 10, maybe 20 test hands, and it's only ever come up one time. So I'm not really sure if a 5% chance of it occurring is worth running it, but we'll have to see. Then we got the little Prank Kids package. We got the Meow Meow and the Doodle Bob. So yeah, it's just like I said, these are basically just for link climbing. You're not really gonna use their effects. But like I said, it's just good to link climb and get bodies on board. Then we got Christian Hockey Fibrax. Of course, card is I don't think it's busted, but it's a very good card, of course. And yeah, just helps you continue your plays. The 1 IP. This card is very good for interruption on your opponent's turn. What can I say? IP is IP. It's a good card. Then we got Lambda. So this is, this card, it will make your, Gamma alive even if you have monsters. So I feel like if you do have Gamma in your hand and you're going first, once you get a monster on board, instead of going into Doodle Bob or going into IP, it could actually be good to go into Lambda. It'll help you play through interruption in certain cases. So I just thought this could be a good spot to put the card in, since we are running Gamma. And then we got the Unicorn, of course, target, or basically just a target for IP Masquerena. And then we got the 2 Link Force. We got Boral Sword and Appaloosa. It's so easy to make Appaloosa in this deck. Same with Boral Sword as well, but I would probably switch Boral Sword out for Axis Code Talker. I don't have a second one. The other one's in my Burning Abyss deck, but this could be an Axis Code Talker. I'm not really sure which one would be better, to be honest. But I don't really want to run both. It's a lot of space taken up in the deck, but yeah, like I said, Boral Sword is still a budget replacement for Axis Code. I'll probably test out both, see how it goes, since I do actually have both. And then we got the Synchros, we got Herald of the Arclight. Of course, it's pretty easy to set up with like your Doki Doki and like Researcher or Doki Doki and Gamma or something like that. So you have a few ways to make it. It's a good floodgate and it's a good interruption, or if you're able to make it early, then of course it protects you from hand traps. Then we got Adamancipator Raptite and Adamancipator Dragite. These two cards, this one I feel like is definitely mandatory because it helps you keep extending your plays. So really good, but you're hardly ever gonna keep this card on board. It's just a good extender during your plays. And then Dragite, I mean, it's still good since you're running Dropsies. You will have the water and graveyard to be able to negate a spell or trap, which is really nice. And this one will also help you break boards, like since it bounces cards up to the number of rock monsters you excavate. So pretty cool stuff. And then we got the one board Load Savage. Of course, it's the most generic level 8 synchro right now. And it's Omni Negate, so why not? Really good card. And then for the XYZs, we got Abyss Dweller and Gallant Granite. I mean, of course, Abyss Dweller is a good floodgate, and Granite is mandatory in this deck. Just it searches any rock monster basically, so you can search like Researcher and all that stuff, or any of the other Adamancipators. So really good stuff. Yeah, and that's basically it for the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, oh yeah, before I guess the two flex spots that you could switch out would be these two. I feel like every other card is mandatory, to be honest. Well, actually, wait. No, not that. Actually, you could just run both. Like, yeah, here we go. So just these two are the only ones I'm thinking about switching. Like the Almirage, I'm not sure yet how good it'll be. Like I said, I've done a couple test hands and it's only ever come up once. And I'm like, so I'm not really sure that merits keeping it or not. And then the Lambda, I mean, even though in theory it's good, because if you're able to make it, then your Gamma is live if you have monsters on board. But I don't know. I'll have to playtest and see. But these two cards, the things I would switch them for would be like Access Code and the Link 5, because with IP, since we're running IP, you can actually, and this deck can make a lot of monsters. And I think it's a really good. I think it's really good to have the Link 5 on board and use IP to take one of your opponent's monsters as well. So yeah. So I guess I'll have to test and see. I'll keep these in for now, for a while, and then test how it goes, and then later on I'll probably switch these out for, like I said, Access Code and the Link 5 Underworld Goddess, and see how that runs. Or maybe I'll only switch one, see how it goes. Yeah, and I'll update the deck profile later on. And that's basically it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did. And yeah, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.